Hello everybody, this is Starman, and welcome back to Let's Play Discworld 2. Well, we're going to start retrieving the items we need for the Rite of Ashkente, and we've come back here to the high energy magic building, rather, to do this. Partly because we have a reason to, and partly because it'll be so satisfying to watch the fool get tossed around.
No, no, no. Don't you know it's wrong to mix spirits?
Oh, Chucky, 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 Chucky! Oh, Chucky, 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 Chucky!
Because, of course, when a ghost gets dizzy, what do they throw up? He slimed me. So, now we have some fresh ectoplasm.
At least I hope it's ectoplasm.
Quick adjustment of the sound effects because I turned it down because the mixing is a little bit weird in certain areas, and the mix in the high energy magic building is particularly off. What's weird is that there are some places where what seems like music is actually a sound effect, like the noise in the high energy magic building, and then there's other areas where the voice acting is recorded as background sound file, like Dibbler shouting popcorn, which is why you'll suddenly have that popcorn, and then he gets much quieter when he's talking, which is weird because I have the speech volume cranked up all the way, and yet it's still softer. So yeah, a little bit of an issue with the sound mix in general on this game, but yeah, one more little criticism. But anyway, we now have our ectoplasm. So we'll go back to Mrs. Cake. I took the long way there.
Here, take it and choke.
And thus we now have a genie bottle.
An empty genie bottle. 3 wishes and whoosh, he's off into retirement. What kind of a job is that? Actually, that sounds like a very good job.
And as long as we're here, we won't need this now, but it will save us a trip later, assuming the game will let us do it. So yes, I now have part of a wooden arm.
A wooden arm? Doesn't look very lifelike, does it?
And this is the last we shall have to deal with Mrs. Cake's shop, although I think maybe we can come back later for slightly different dialogue as we're wandering around stumbling, trying to figure out what to do. And I wonder... Yeah, oddly enough, Casanunda has not made it over here yet. Alright, so clearly we need to get followed Ron's stench. And as Ron mentioned, his stench is attracted to other smelly things. And these boots are the second smelliest thing in Ankh-Morpork, which is saying something. So,
Well, at least I know he likes the smell of these boots. They make good bait.
now how are we ever going to trap an airy creature?
There we go. A nice snug fit.
gold piece, sir. Spare a
Great.
gold piece.
I've just captured a smell. I wonder if I'll ever be able to shake it off.
So, there we've got our first item.
A foul smell trapped in a genie bottle. Guaranteed to not grant you any wishes. Phew.
And we'll head down to the docks for the next bit. Because you'll remember that we had this net with the fish and this bird here. Now, remember what Rincewind said about, you know, hoping that the bird is not looking for food in the Ankh River water? Well, check this out. You'll bang your head if you try and dive in there.
I've heard of stunned mullets, but never a stunned mallet.
Well, actually, it looks more like a pelican than a merret, but...
One slightly stunned wading bird. Not surprising the way it dived onto the River Ankh.
And then this net, well, we need...
I wonder if it's about time my luggage had a bath.
Probably. We can slice that net open. And the fish are all running for freedom except for the hammerhead shark.
A hammer-headed shark. Actually, if you were intent on being a terror of the deeps, wouldn't you consult with a cosmetic surgeon first?
And that's it for the docks, but we now have 3 odd pieces of wildlife in our luggage. And I think you can guess where this is going if you have ever read Alice in Wonderland or seen any of the many Alice in Wonderland cartoons and movies and whatnot.
Nah, I think that a wading bird would definitely go better with the librarian.
Okay, well, before we go walking all the way over there, let's see. Was he a flamingo sort of man? Nope. He's definitely a shark. Now, penguin for the... Not a penguin, a pelican for the librarian.
Two sticks. Now I really am getting somewhere.
Ah, there we go. Alright, so we now have...
Quest completed. 3 identical sticks. Now we're cooking.
Yep. Now, we do still need to get a hold of that rooster. And we do have some corn, but I don't think that just feeding it corn is going to get it to sit still. So we are going to take this corn.
Alcohol-soaked corn. This should give something a decent hangover.
Now remember, kids, this is just for a game. Do not feed alcohol-soaked corn to any real chickens or roosters, or any other animals that you might happen to know. There. I've now got a drunken cock.
1 rooster, totally plastered.
And I'm going to cheat a little bit and do something ahead of time, because the game will let you cheat on this point. You can actually go ahead and get the wax for the candles here, but then you take it to the lady and she'll say, well, if you want dribbly candles, you need to find a way to heat up the bees. How do we heat up the bees? By putting chili powder on the flowers, of course. And hiding directly behind the flowers is probably not the best idea. At least if you're trying to avoid bees. Alright, so now we need to find a way to get rid of the beekeeper, who you remember seemed to think that bees need to be better appreciated, and he needed some way of getting the masses to appreciate them, so why not suggest you go into clickies?
Look, here's something that may interest you. You seem to know all about bees. Why don't you make a clicky about them? You could then pass on all your knowledge, so to speak.
You don't say. You know, you may just have something there. It's time the world knew the facts about bees.
Alright, now in order to get into the hive, we need to have a veil to protect our face, and some smoke to get the bees out of the way. Luckily, we have this nice lacy petticoat, and we got some incense. I want to use that on myself. Alright, so now we can retrieve some honey. Now,
A clay pot, full to the brim with delicious honey. Ah, dribbly beeswax. Makes up in free spirit for what it lacks in stability.
and we're all done in the garden now. So we'll go ahead and move back to the traveling shop.
Here's some nice sweaty and dribbly beeswax. Could you make me some candles, please?
Certainly, my dear. There we are, dribbly candles. Just suitable for consorting with loathsome horrors from beyond the shrieking nightmares of mortal man. Here, what you planning, your highness? You're not trying to put one across on your husband or something, I hope.
Look, I keep telling you I am not a princess. And I am not engaged in summoning evil entities from beyond. We got plenty of demons running around the university in any case. Mostly they study law.
Law? Why law?
It's the wizard's fault, really. Everyone keeps saying that they want a demon to do their will. Too much setup and not enough joke there, I feel. Excuse me, I think I have to leave. Dribbly candles! A masterpiece of modern craftwork.
So we're down to 3 out of 5. And I commented on this one in the last video, but this one is pretty obvious if you recognize who the milkmaid is a reference to and you've seen the movie Some Like It Hot. Actually, it's a 7-year itch, not Some Like It Hot, but whichever movie it is, it's the one that Marilyn Monroe is most famous for.
Miss? Are you alright? Should I stop now?
No, keep it going a little longer. My agent always said I needed more exposure.
Badoomch. But this act of indecency has given us glitter dust.
Glitter dust, eh? Well, I'm sure this will come in very useful.
Glitter dust, coincidentally, is also my favorite unappreciated Dungeons & Dragons spell. Yeah, a lot of people give it guff because glitter dust is just a spell that creates a little explosion of glitter over a certain area. And the main purpose of it is that it makes things that are invisible within that area all sparkling and glittery so you can see them. It's a cheap version of see invisibility, but it has one other effect that often gets ignored, which is that any creature that's caught in this area also has to make a save to see if it gets blinded by glitter in its eye. If it's blinded by glitter in its eye, it is flat-footed. If it is flat-footed, you can sneak attack it if you're a rogue. So glitter dust is a nice little spell if you are in a party with a group of rogues, or you're a rogue spellcaster who also does a lot of ray attacks, because you can blind your enemies and then sneak attack them with your ray spells. A little free hint there for those of you who play D&D and Pathfinder. So we've got everything we need now except for the mouse's blood.
Oh, hello, it's you again.
He says, hello, how are you? And shouldn't you be getting a move on and get Death back on his feet?
That's very clever. Where did you come from?
You'd have to ask my mother and father. They never tell me. That's just a familiar little joke.
Yeah, a very familiar little one. That's just a little bit of sarcasm.
You just wait until I get my own body back, young man. I'll give you sarcasm.
Yeah, it's not immediately obvious, but that is in fact Granny Weatherwax borrowing that raven's body. And there's another little nod here to a different Discworld book, Soul Music, where the Death of Ravens has to get or not the Death of Ravens, the Death of Rats secures the services of a wizard's familiar, a raven named Quoth, yes, Quoth the Raven, in order to communicate with people who it has to talk to who don't understand squeak, 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 squeak. So that was not Quoth himself, because Quoth actually can talk without having a witch possess him. The weird thing being that witch-possessed animals in Discworld can't talk, or the witches can't talk through them. But anyway. Now, they've hinted that the best way for us to get blood out of a mouse, since we can't use a knife on it, is to, help is to get a vampire. So, let's see if he will do this for us.
That's not going to help. This is one character that should be put back in his coffin. That's not going to help. This is one character that should be put back in his coffin.
Okay, so we can't just give the mouse to the vampire and say, hey, look, could you bite him for us really quickly? So we have to, knowing that he is not a night person, that he's wearing dentures, we have to find a way to get him home so we can take his dentures. Now, how do we get a vampire to go home? Well, we have to make him think that it's time for him to go back to his coffin, which means that, it's almost dawn. And what signals the dawn? Roosters crowing. Unfortunately, the rooster is now too drunk to do a proper cockle-doodle-doo. Thankfully, the beggars have this super coffee here.
One rooster, cold turkey sober.
Alright. So now that we have a truly sober and awake cock, yes, I am intentionally doing that, because I can, and because I never really matured past the age of 12 as far as my sense of humor goes. And it's a bit easy to miss, but he does have a glass of water next to his coffin for his dentures. So now we have to go steal some poor old vampire's dentures. Because we're heroes. Now, we do have the problem of how we're going to get up there, but thankfully, we just so happen to secure a nice ladder. Which, oddly enough, unlike the previous game, we are not going to need to steal this ladder back. So, we now have our teeth, and we have our mouse. Mousy! Those dentures fit pretty well, considering they're over his regular teeth. Well, we've got mouse blood, but we have no way of really measuring it, except for this test tube.
A test tube containing 4 cc's of mouse blood.
And also...
An undead mouse.
Which we will have for the rest of the game, despite it having absolutely no use whatsoever. And yeah, we can't pick the ladder back up, but shockingly, we won't need it again. So that gives us all our items. So we have to head back to the Arch-Chancellor and hand everything over. Alright, so, in order. 3 sticks of wood, equal length.
Look at this. Sticks, 3 thereof, all exactly alike. Precisely as specified.
Oh, very good. What did you do then? Just go and get some sticks from the garden?
Well, I never.
Well, obviously you did.
4 cc's of mouse blood.
There you go. Bet you thought a mouse didn't hold that much blood.
How exactly... No, never mind. Some things are best left unknown.
And even though that's technically all we need, we still need the other little items, because of course we do. 1 foul stench.
Here you are, 1 vile stench.
Or vile stench.
What's this then? Looks more like a genie in a bottle.
You'll get a lot more than you wish for if you open it.
Or maybe it's a vial of stench. Dribbly candles.
Here we are, genuine dribbly candles. And it wasn't only the bees that sweated getting these.
Not strictly necessary, but I suppose they'll look nice.
And finally, some glitter.
Here we are then. Glitter dust for your perusal.
Ah, right you are, my boy. Excellent. We'll make a junior apprentice wizard out of you yet.
But I'm already an assistant wizard, 3rd class.
The day is still young.
Right. Well, that's it then. That's 3 sticks of wood, 4 cc's of mouse blood, glitter, stench, and dribbly candles.
Really? What for?
For the Rite of Ashkente. You said we needed it. I spent ages getting the right stuff.
Ooh, I don't think so. For that one, you need to open the book, light the bell, and ring the candle. Or was it light the book, open the bell, and ring the candle? Something like that. Yes, off you go. We need a candle, a book, and a bell.
You're not serious, are you?
Of course not. I just love watching the pathos crossing your helpless little face. Come on, let's get these sticks and dribbly candles and do this Ashkente thing, shall we?
Daylight come and go home. Come, Mr. Tallyman, come tally me banana. Daylight come and go home. We're gonna summon death here, then have jelly for our afters. Daylight come and go home. Knee boom, leg boom, head boom, hop. Daylight come and go home.
Oh, good grief.
Didn't quite come out as planned, did it?
Who started us off on this?
Look, I worked long and hard to get this stuff. Can we at least treat this ceremony with a little bit of... Damn it, I've lost my train of thought now. What's that word I was looking for? The one used for describing distinction. Differentiation of treatment.
Repression?
No, it's not going to be repression, is it? We can't treat a ceremony with a sense of repression.
Dictatorship of the proletariat?
What?
The dictatorship of the proletariat. That results as an inevitable reaction against repression. Look, I think this would work better if everyone just got back on track. It's time we acted with a little bit of class.
Class, that was it. The word was class.
What word?
I don't know, but I'm sure it was important.
What was?
How long have you been here, then?
Since the banana. Will this take long? I'm on holiday. It's good here. Sun, sheep, sand, hats with corks. No worries. I'm supposed to have a chunder in a minute.
A chunder? What's a chunder?
You know, I'm not sure, but it sounds interesting.
Now look here, you. This city is in chaos. I mean, how dare you go swanning off to foreign lands while we're up to our armpits in undead? Now you get right back here and get back to work.
Work? I don't remember any work. All I remember is a great big bang, and then an eternity of beer. And no worries, mate.
Lucky blighter.
Now, I've had about enough of this. You get off that thingamy, get those corks out of your hat, and... What? Now, just you come back here. I have a plan.
Oh, no.
Rincewind, lad! How wonderful to see you looking so well, so very sprightly, so very, shall we say, so very mobile.
You want me to go find out where Death has gone?
Oh, only if you don't want to spend the rest of your life staring out across a pond at all the other toads.
Frogs?
If you prefer.
If we had a proper union like the alchemists do, I'd have a few harsh words for you.
Like dictatorship of the...
Oh, shut up.
Act 2. Come die with me.
Yeah, you'll note from that quiet voice there that the act prompts are also treated as a sound effect, so they're a little bit quieter now that I've turned the sound down. But yes, that was Act 1. We summoned Death and are right back where we started, only now we know that Death is on vacation in a place where he is wearing corks on his hat and drinking a lot of beer. Which, for those of you who are not that well traveled, is supposed to be a reference to Australia, or in this case, the Discworld equivalent of Australia, which is a land called 4X. And we will start trying to make arrangements to travel to 4X next time. We'll see you then, and until then, take care.